weeny reason, just that little reason to get to that door. Because let me tell you something, I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. I'm going to do a hell of a great job. I'm going to bust my ass. You know, I'll probably lose 20 pounds busting my ass, but believe me, I'm going to bust my ass doing the job. And I'm going to get it just right. Because when I do it just right, I'm going to do it so good. Oh my God. I am going to bust my ass for the rest of my life for the next person I work for. I am going to dedicate the rest of my life to them. I'll be like 67, 80 years old, rolling out of there saying, okay, I'm about ready to retire. That's all I really want to do. You know, I want to get a good job, and I know what job I want. And I'm praying to God that I am one of those people that are going to get picked to give it a shot, to give it all I got. Because let me tell you something. I get up there, I work hard, and I do what I got to do. Whew. My God, that's going to rescue my family. It'll get us out of complete hell. I can grab me one of them $500 an hour lawyers and say, you know what? Let's get these people. And I'll tell you something, Dale P. Reisner, I will press charges on you, and I will not, you know, allow you to walk free, because you're crazy. You're a crazy ass doctor for telling CPS that a person is lying about their life. You have some freaking nerve to tell somebody what they've been through that they should be crazy. No, you're the crazy one. Because for one, you cannot go around telling people what their lives are all about and what they've done with their lives and how it affects their life. You know, because of your big fat mouth. Instead of saying, let's see, this person is telling the truth, leave them alone. You could have pulled the plug any old time you felt like it. But no, you just kept it going and going and going. And every time I try to talk to this doctor about what she's done and what she's put my family through, the only thing she could do is get restraining order after restraining order. Now, she spent over $8,000 to a lawyer so she didn't have to talk to me. Man, don't you think it would have been better just having a Frappuccino for $5? You could have saved so much money just sitting down and talking to me and say, okay, I know what you've gone through is true. Okay, I'm willing to leave you alone and let me go. Just let me go. Stop trying to keep me like a slave on a plantation. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's the way you make people feel. It's like they're a slave on a plantation. It's like, hey, you're born here in Seattle. You're a slave of Seattle. It's like my goal was to really go back to work. But it's like, how in the hell can I go to work? But I do want to go to work. I just want to find somebody who pays good. You know, pay me to do something that I love to do. And I miss it so much. I love cooking and I miss it so freaking much. Man, if I could get back in there and please people, man, the weight will just start melting off. I start making that money. Oh my God, I can take care of my husband and my 2 beautiful children. And guess what? Once that happens, I can take my kids out of this town and say the hell with Seattle. You know, I always kind of felt connected to Seattle because my parents are buried here and my grandparents are buried here, you know, and my family's been here for well over 100 years, you know, and I have my sisters that are still alive and my brother and my nieces and my nephews, but we're not really close. We don't really have that connection. You know, I have my children, and my children are my connection. My children are the loves of my life. And I want you children to know, I want you to know that, hey, you know, it wasn't my choice to let you go. It's just that they made me feel that, hey, you're never going to leave us alone. We'll never be a family. And I really wanted CPS to leave. So I tried to find ways to get rid of them, to ditch them, to get them to leave, even if I had to put my kids up for adoption. And I know that sounds really weird, but I really wanted to choose the family that I wanted my kids to go with. And I wanted to be able to have contact with my children, you know, excluding CPS. I really did. And I was going to have them go to Canada. I was going to have them out of the United States of America, you know, but it didn't work out that way. First, I was going to do it in the United States. I changed my mind. And then I went with out of state. And the people that were in state contacted CPS. And then CPS was like, you want to terminate your rights? No, I did not. I wanted to be able to have communication with my children, but dealing with people that I like, that I could choose, that really needed a family. And it was all lined up. And they jumped in and they stopped the process. I think that CPS likes to stick their hands in people's lives and keep themselves in people's lives. And when they see that the control is getting ready to be extinguished to some degree, they like to just hop right in there. But, you know, I just felt like I wanted CPS to get the hell out of my life just as quick as they got in. They look at what's happened to me, and then they're just like, you know, you have problems, you got problems. And it's like, you know, that if the doctor didn't have me on all those drugs and narcotics, I would have never told her about what had happened to me. And if she would have never known, then maybe I would have been left alone. So that's one thing I want to tell you people. If a doctor smiles in your face and they give you drugs and they ask you questions, just don't say a goddamn thing. Keep your mouth shut. Why? Because they're trying to dig up information. 2, they'll send a nurse into your room and they'll keep asking you the same questions over and over again. You know, I told them the same story over and over again. Yeah, I lost my parents on, you know, October 9th, 1984. And the funny part was I went back to the original hospital that I told, you know, this is in 2002, but I went back to the original hospital that I told in 1984, and I dug up the records, and I took those freaking paperwork in the court, and I said, why would I lie about something that happened to me in 1984? I mean, I even went to the church and got the people that were ready to go to court to testify because they buried my parents. And, you know, some of those people have already died because they're so old. You know, my parents were like 40 years older than me. I'm 46. They were like 86. I mean, they would have been 86 if they were alive. 86, 89. They would have been alive, you know. But it's like my mom's friends. There's only a couple left. And CPS just will not go to court. They keep, every time I bring people into court, they turn them down. They turn them away. I have brought people into court and they sit there patiently waiting to get on the stand. And CPS will not take them on the stand to testify on my behalf. And whenever they hand me this little bogus little lawyers, you know, these little penny pinching, two-faced, backstabbing, in cahoots, let me keep my caseload up, let me ignore the information that's being given to me, kind of jerks, then they won't write up the documents. Then I have to type them up myself, bring them into court, and then have them completely ignored. That's all these suckers do, is look at my paperwork, set it down, and completely ignore it. And let me tell you something. I want to help save people from going through what I've gone through. I want to help the next generation of CPS guinea pigs, because that's all they're using this for, is guinea pigs. What they're doing is setting it up so that they can dig their nose, they can stick their big fat nose up into your business. And when they do that, then they can increase the medication, add on the stress, and then you die. Heart attack, stroke, Parkinson's disease, take your pick. It's worse than drinking alcohol. It's worse than doing drugs on the corner. What they want you to do is suffer and go through hell. That's their goal.